You know what it is when the games are live, so are we. Welcome to Live Lines here on the Keg YouTube channel. I'm your host, the Spittin' Statistician, Dane Martinez. With me, as always, breaking out a fresh cigar for the evening is my man, Matt, Mr. Twatty Lottie, new to your town. And I got to tell you, if you were not with us last time, you really missed a lot of fun, to be honest, and a historical night in Major League Baseball. Our guys were giving us the nuggets. I then later, Matt, heard on ESPN or the Talking Heads literally regurgitating some of the stats that our guy in the chat was saying about how many teams were scoring big numbers, the runs scored in Major League Baseball last time around. But we're back better than ever, trying to do it again. And while I don't think, Matt, we're going to have, 9-10 teams get to double digits or the ability to hit the live over in an Atlanta game like 7 times, we're going to still find a way to make people some money, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. This is we've hit 3 weeks in a row. Last week was huge. Now I gave a late night, which was a loser for Woo, right? But we were 4-0 live.
Yep.
The week before we were 2-1, and the week before we were 3-2. Yeah. So we're 9-3.
9-3. I'll take that out of my football team going into December. I'll take being up whatever it is in terms of units. Because remember, some of the plays we make when we're doing it, it may be like plus 540, and we're not betting an entire unit on that. So we got to figure out the unit count. But 9-3 in our first 3 shows are pretty good, to be sure. The only thing is, Matt, did you see our boy the Keg? And shout out to the Keg for obviously providing the platform. He's over here now telling people that we're cashing, making money. I was like, don't jinx it. You know what I mean? Because we got to do it again. And obviously, everybody in the chat, if you've been with us for Live Lines, okay, it's a communal effort. So when you see something, say something, let us know. We'll give you our opinion on it. But we do have a lot of interesting games to get going on. We'll also give you some picks pregame for the late night, for the West Coast games. And when you're Brandon Wu, strikeout prop didn't hit last time, I did give out an over, and I think it was the Seattle game that cashed before we went on air.
We were 1-1. Yep, we were 1-1 with that.
1-1 on the pregame stuff as well. So let's get on into it. Bryce Harper, first of all, shout out to Rock Air 555.
Rock Air, what up?
Know that Bryce Harper went and he just tied that game. So let's start right there, because I think this is an interesting game. Baltimore and Philly. We're getting into the final 3 innings. We're tied at 2 in this one. And I would love to get your thoughts on this. Right now it's pretty much minus 110 on both sides in the live lines. But here's a couple of things. It's tied at 2, and the live total is 6.5, Matt. And I always, where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going.
The live even number total at 6.5, 3-3 gets us home. So on some level, it's not like we need 3 runs. We only need 2 if it happens to go 3-3. I'm kind of intrigued by the over. And then in a tight game, you also get that extra inning potential. And with the Manfred man on second base, the run expectancy zooms up to over 50%. This is a situation where I kind of like the over. I want to watch this for a little bit, because I'd even love a few things. One, if we get into the 7th and into the 8th, and we can get this down to 5.5, I'd love it even better. And then also, I wonder when they take the total off the board. Will it be in the bottom of the 8th? Will it be in the top of the 8th? I'm intrigued as to when they would take this total off the board. But what are your thoughts here on Baltimore, Philly? Shout out to everybody joining us in the chat. As always, we'll be sure to check in on the chat. Be sure to update what we're doing on the scroll, any official plays we make, which were flawless last time around. But what do you think about O's and Phils here, Matt?
Well, let me I'll address that in 1 second. Let me say what's up to the chat. MT13, Connor, Eric, Rolk. Eric, there's actually a funny story to why they call me Mr. New to Town.
Ooh.
It's a bar story. We will address that at some point.
Sounds good.
And it's a name from Kager. Kager gave it to me. So, but we will address that. And speaking of Twate Latte, was a Peter Loshak given nickname. So, but here's the only issue I have with that. I mean, I love your theory, and it's been working. Matter of fact, I think it's in the first 3 weeks, it's hit at least twice. It may be more.
Yep.
So the one thing is both these teams have above average pen. So we'll have to kind of factor that in. And I think Baltimore's pen's really good. Now, one thing I didn't do is I didn't look at last night how
available, who's rested.
Yeah. And
off days yesterday, though?
What's that?
A lot of teams had off days yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's a big off day. Yep. So if anyone in the chat, again, we're a big team. So anyone in the chat has that info, that'd be amazing.
Let us know. Bullpen availability is huge.
And then I'm sure we'll get Encyclopedia Brown, Ramon Scott in here, and I'm sure he'll know off the top of his head like he always does. But we got my Pirates are a late night game for the first time. So I'm going to probably delve into that. I have a really nice play I'm going to be giving out probably in about a half an hour.
Yep, we'll do that
from that game because I think that may be like a 9:30 game. So
it is. Waiting at 9:30 that you got to play one of those games pregame. I got to play pregame. By the way, Daniel Vogelbach just went yard for the Metropolitans, making it 6-0 Mets in Yankee Stadium. So maybe we'll check that comeback. We've been looking at the rough underbelly. We'll look at that in a second. But go ahead, man.
One of our favorite terms is the rough underbelly.
Yes.
And if you guys don't know what that means when we say it, that means we're getting to the shitty part of the bullpen. We're getting to the players that were not good enough to be starters and not good enough to be closers or hold guys. Right. That is considered the rough underbelly.
The innings eaters, as it were. And that
the
may be the situation in the Bronx. That may be the situation in the Bronx. We'll see about that. But talk to me. I think Baltimore-Philly is an intriguing matchup. And we are now 2 outs in the top of the 7th in that one. So we've had 2 outs since then. And it's still 6.5, now at even juice. I'm intrigued if we get to the bottom of the 7th, still tied at 2, where we go. Any thoughts on this one except a little cause for pause on my over strategy?
Yeah, I'm going to put this one on you. I don't really have anything on it. A position either way. If you like it, take it.
I'm going to wait. Okay. I'm going to wait because here's the other thing that happens, and I'm just giving people the blueprint. We're not just giving you a fish. We're teaching you how to fish here on Live Lines. I think it's going to get to 5.5. Okay? I think it's going to drop to 5.5, and then if it does, I would be interested in going on the over if I get the 5.5 in the 7th inning. Okay. Right. If we can get the 5.5 in the 7th inning, then I'm intrigued to potentially go over. And the other thing I want to watch, do you have any thoughts on this? When might they take the total off the board? That's what I'm interested in because I want to kind of get it right before they take it off the board.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you never know. I mean, it could be, in the middle of the 8th. It could be the bottom of the 8th. It could, it's tough. It's tough to say.
We'll keep our eyes out on that. Viper in the chat. He's been with us for a few episodes. What's going up, guys? Brian Smith saying what's up. Hello, everybody. You know what I like here, Matt, is that the people who have been with us are coming back because they know what it is. I mean,
and
we're saying at the beginning of the show, we've cashed every time, been profitable. Last week was so crazy. We're hoping to do it again. Go ahead.
And we're picking up new names too. I love it. Tom's in here. Coop, I love that play. I knew Greinke was going to have a tough outing today. The Indians have seen him a lot, and again, that goes back to one of my theories. I'm a truther with batter pitcher comparisons or success or lack of plate appearances. Yep, and I like that one from Coop definitely.
Yeah, no, that's definitely interesting. And, Greinke gets anxiety every now and then, too. So that's a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Interesting. To that point, there's a few intra-league matchups that are interesting today where we might get limited kind of sample size, which in your opinion, tell anybody who's new here, Matt, you think that skews towards the pitcher, right? And then the more and more that you see the pitcher, even if you have bad numbers against said pitcher, you then like some of the total bases and some of the other props on them because of the familiarity that comes with more plate appearances, right?
100%. Like, for instance, today it was Castellanos. I bet him big. He had a bunch of plate appearances against that pitcher. And the other one was, well, I'm not going to give it out because it's my play for 9:30.
Gotcha.
But that's another one. I literally go and I look at who's had the most plate appearances against the opposing pitcher, and that's what I take, even if they're not successful, because I just think that, the more you see, the better you're going to do, and you get a better number. If someone's seen someone 50 times and they're only 10 for 50, you're getting maybe, total bases over 1.5 at plus 140 instead of minus 110. So, there's some value there.
Yeah,
I've been doing that for years.
If someone's hitting like 143 career against the guy, that might actually be a good thing, because first of all, to get to that kind of batting average, you have to have seen him a decent amount of times, right? Because we're not hitting 250 or 333 or 200 against the guy. And then the book will think, oh, he's just unsuccessful. Meanwhile, you think that kind of law of averages will change, and, you see and know the way the ball moves coming out of his hand. I think we talked about that also a couple of weeks ago when it was the guy Senga for the Mets. Going in a first time ever against, I think it was Arizona. He wound up striking out 11 guys in that game, and we were on that K-prop. So if you've never seen that ghost forkball, you ain't hitting it. You're not hitting it. Right. No, absolutely. I agree. I just hated it when it was back in the day, my Yankees having to see Daisuke Matsuzaka and his gyroscope or whatever the hell that was called back in the day. You know what I mean? I know exactly what you mean. We have a rough underbelly potential here. Let me set the stage, see if you want to do it. As I said, Mets are up 6-0 going into the bottom of the sixth here. So the Yankees will have 4 more at-bats. Justin Verlander on the hill. He's pitched well, but he's also, an old man, and he's thrown 82 pitches so far. And so with a 6-run deficit, Matt, you can get the Yankees pretty much at even money with 5.5 runs. And that's the idea of, do they close the gap at all? So the things that are on the positive side for me, one, we make this point all the time here on Live Lines, is that after the 6th inning, 3rd time through the order, when they're reaching about 80, 85, 90 pitches, even if they're pitching well, they're going to get the hook. And now that the Mets are up, to the point about the rough underbelly, we're not seeing their 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys, their hold guys, Robertson coming in for the save. We're seeing, quite frankly, the worst arms that the Mets have to run out there, right? So then the idea of, can the Yankees run into one, hit one into the short porch and right? I'm intrigued by that. I would, in fact, lean that is a play, but I am a Yankees fan. I am a New Yorker, so I don't want to be clouded with my home field judgment. Right now, Matt, I'm seeing the Yankees plus 5.5 runs, minus 102. So pretty much even money. What do you think? So, and I'm with you. I want to pull the trigger on this. I just want to see how many pitches Verlander's at. 82. He's at 82. 82. So he's probably going to He's got one more inning. Although they may run him out over 100 pitches. That's the problem. But I do like that, because the Mets bullpen is not very good and the Yankees bullpen is. Now, we've been making a killing, like taking 6.5 in this situation. In this spot, but I know, but just for the chat, if you can ever pull that off, I mean, that's a good situation. We pulled it off a handful of times. I do like that. I mean, do you think they'll run Verlander out there 2 more innings? I mean, I guess it'll depend on this next inning. It will, but here's the other factor, and another reason why I would not. I don't think they're going to run him out. And I'm here in the New York area, at least, and they're talking about listening to offers for a guy like Justin Verlander as they come up on the trade deadline. And that's another topic we got to talk about, at some point throughout the show, right? But I don't think you're going to burn the guy or push the guy if you're also not necessarily shopping him, but if you know that other teams are looking at that. You don't want a guy coming off a 110-pitch outing. What I mean? Dane, sorry to interrupt. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's do it? Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to do it right now. It's plus money because Stanton's got a bad count on him, but we're going to do it. It's plus 124, to be honest, right now, because Stanton must have made an out, but I'm still okay with that. Yeah. Let's do it. It's our first official play, 5.5. So we need the Yankees to come on back. And we have – I'm going to put that there in the bottom. I'm going to put that in the bottom. And just for those of you who are new, once we get our official plays, it'll be there on the scroll on the bottom. So I'm going to go and do that right now. In the meantime, Matt, I know sometimes, we're just a prisoner to our start time. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the Guardians and the Royals, because there we have a extreme matchup when it comes to the bullpens. Cleveland's already up 5-1, so maybe that ship has sailed. But what were you thinking about that game?
Yeah, I mean, we could bet that they close this game by at least 4 runs. I mean, I don't think, although they're not going to have their ace, their closer coming in either. Shit, I don't know. I mean, we needed to hit that before we came on the air.
It doesn't have to be a play. It does not have to be a play. Now, Verlander's gotten 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. He's now at 87 pitches. So really, we just want, a couple guys to get on even in this inning and make it so that we don't see Verlander to come out in the top of or in the bottom of the 7th. That's really what we need. You want to know the truth in that one.
Yeah.
Just to update that other one in Baltimore, we are now going to the top of the 8th. We're going to the top of the 8th. And while it hasn't gone to 5.5 just yet, the over 6.5 is now pretty juiced. I see it at 120. Under the 6.5 is minus 146. So they're thinking that the 3-2 final is, very possible there in Philadelphia. I'm intrigued. I still want it to get to 5.5. I'm not going to pull the trigger on it just yet. Another lead. Go ahead. What you got?
Just this is a bet I made earlier.
Okay.
It was, and I mean, the guys could probably still get on it in some form or fashion. I like the Nationals over 4.5 runs against the Rockies tonight. We were already into the second, but that was a play that I made.
That was Gomber going for Colorado?
Yeah.
Gotcha. We are in the top of the second, and they didn't score, so you may even get a better value on it, to be quite honest, right now. So let me see what that's at live.
And this will get ugly late because it's 2 bad pens.
2 bad pens for sure.
I think 2 of the top 5, maybe worst pens, both in the top 5.
Yeah, they are not good. Colorado runs. The Colorado.
Like I'd be thrilled if we could get the Nats runs at 3.5.
It's locked right now, so we'll keep our eye out on that. But it's locked. Verlander 92 pitches, facing his third guy in the bottom of the 6th. It's LeMahieu, so he's going to be in the mid-90s here. And it was locked because Colorado just scored in the top of the 2nd. So now it's 4 on the number. You said you saw it at 4.5?
Yeah.
Now it's 4 on the number, but the over is heavily juiced, minus 128.
We got to get okay, that's fine.
Okay.
If we can get it at 3.5, we'll snatch it up.
Okay, so we'll hammer it if we get to that point. Big shout out to B Square 81, Kenny, in the chat. They are returning kind of viewers trying to get paid, so that's a good thing.
And like Dane says, if you see something, say something. Definitely.
If you see something, say something. You have been telling us for a minute, Matt, that the Chicago Cubs are a sneaky good offense, and the Chicago
100%.
Cubs are up 3-0 on the South Side. This is one of those intra-league matchups, the Battle of Chicago. We've got the Battle of New York happening, at the same time. So this is interesting to me. They've scored 3 in the 2nd inning off Kopech. Kopech is also already at 47 pitches through 2. So that's something to potentially look at as I go.
The Cubs should keep scoring in this game, to be honest. Yeah.
Right. If they've already – we got a mound visit. LeMahieu walks. Verlander at 97 pitches, and they're going to the mound.
Okay.
He's staying in, but they're pretty much telling him, empty the gas tank because this is your last this is your last batter. You're not coming out after that. So that's a good thing for us. We want to get to the non-A bullpen arms for the Mets. So we'll see what happens. And also, quite frankly, if Verlander's at his rope, all I need is a double in the gap or something like that, and we're back within the our +5.5.
Yep.
So let me go to Cubs White Sox. You like the sneaky Cubs offense, right? So the Cubs
and the White Sox have a trash bullpen too.
They do.
Now I understand it's early, but if we can get into that bullpen with that sneaky good offense against not a sneaky bad pen, I mean, we could get some more runs there.
Yeah, I mean, very viable. Verlander got out of it, but I doubt he's coming back. Cubs total runs 6.5, even money to the over, Matt.
Ooh.
6.5, even money to the over. They're already at 3. Kopech is at 52 pitches. He just started the top of the 3rd.
We got 7 more bats, basically.
We do.
To get, what'd you say? It was 6.5.
It was 6.5, and I think it was even money to the over. Now it's -104.
I'll take. Shit, yeah. You got 1 out or 2 outs?
I have 1 out and a full count on Bellinger.
Let's do it. Let's take team total over 6.5.
All right, let's do it. So for everybody, that is the Cubs team total over 6.5. Now it's at -104. But tell the people for anybody who's new, why you think the Cubs have a sneaky good offense. You tell them that. I'm gonna go make the bet.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, 1 through 9, they're good. I mean, they don't have that big bopper per se. They just got a bunch of professional hitters. Okay, that's why they're a little under the radar. So couple that with a shit bullpen by the White Sox, and we're gonna probably start getting into that underbelly.
Yeah,
Dan likes to say.
Yeah.
So I think we have 7 at bats. Basically 7 at bats, and a bat for them is worth a half a run. So that's 3.5 runs. That pretty much gets us there. So I like that play.
And for some good news, just because of the last out, I think Bellinger flied out, and they just dropped it to 6 on the number.
Okay.
They dropped it to 6 on the number because of that Bellinger fly out. It does change the juice now, and so now the over 6 is at like -120. But a winner's a winner.
So I like that play.
Let me put that in the good old banner here. So we got the Yankees coming back to within 5, and we also have Cubs team total over 6. I was at -120 when I got it.
Just working through this while you're doing that, Dane.
Yep. No problem.
We got the Astros, Rangers. Man, can they mash? But their bullpen terrible. Astros up 2-0 in that game. Mm-hmm. I see more runs in that game.
What the total is in that one?
Yeah, there was a shit ton of runs in that game last night too. I think, if I'm remembering, I want to say there was over 12 runs or something in that game last night.
Live totals at 8.5 here. Live totals at 8.5. Tucker's up, 1 man on, 1 out. Oh, this would not be good for me if the Mets score more, but it is caught on the warning track, so I'm not worried about that. I think it was Nimmo. You guys are right in the chat. Verlander got out, but he's sitting at 98 pitches. He's in the dugout right now, and they're giving him like the attaboy. He's shaking hands and stuff. So I don't know that he's going to come back out. So, and they got a guy warming. They got a guy warming in the pen. I'm trying to get eyes on who it is.
That would be nice. We can get.
Yeah, we'll get to the Mets pen. We'll get a couple of runs there. So far, we want the Yankees to come on back just a little bit, and we want the Cubs to keep scoring runs. That's where we are so far here on Live Line. Cincinnati, Milwaukee's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Okay. This is like a battle for the division on some level. You see what happened yesterday?
I think they're only I think they're like a half a game apart or something.
Yeah, I think last I checked it was like 1.5, but it's it's still a lot of time. Cubs have, I mean, the Reds have fallen off a little bit after they were so hot for that time. But did you see last night? Ellie De La Cruz gets robbed in his first at bat.
Yeah.
And then on the scoreboard, the game's in Milwaukee, his next time up, they put on the scoreboard that he almost hit a home run, ... but didn't.
Right.
And then Ellie De La Cruz hits one like 500 feet, literally right at the scoreboard. That was
what did they measure that at? That was one of the farthest home runs I've ever seen hit.
I think I saw 480 something.
I can't believe that thing didn't go 500 feet.
Well, in Milwaukee, it's not like it was in Cincinnati or Colorado, right? You know what I mean? Milwaukee's not really a hitter's ballpark,
right?
You know, but it was a bomb, and he does some of those. He hits some absolute no doubters.
He does,
to be sure. I mean, I don't believe that Cincinnati's going to win the division. I think ultimately Milwaukee is going to. I think I'll ride with the better starting rotation in that one. I think it's a nice story. They may get a wild card or something like that, but I think they'll eventually fade.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Smokestack? Yep, we're on. We're just on the. Let's see, what was it? Oh, just the Nats. Did we get the Nats in or no?
We have not gotten the Nats in just yet. We have not gotten the Nats on the Cubs team total and the Yankees coming back a little bit. You said that you wanted to see if it fell to 3.5.
Yeah, okay.
I told you I found it at 4 on the number. You said if it got to 3.5, you'd be interested in it.
Definitely. Are we?
And I don't think it has just yet. I'm trying to find the game here. They just started in the bottom of the second. And they're not going to give it to you because the leadoff man, they got a man on second base.
Yeah, so Smokestack, if we get on that, we're just going to take – you're right about your point, but we're just going to take the Nats team total in that.
Yeah, so right now it actually went up to 4.5, Matt. So that 3.5 might be gone.
Freaking Braves got the bases loaded.
They do again in the good old top of the first. For any of y'all who were with us last time around, that was what that finished? 16-13, I think that finished. And we caught it when the live total was at 19.5. And then we really had some guys in the chat being like, I'm just gonna bet yes, run the one rookie scored in the next inning and hit it like three innings in a row. And it got us to have a conversation about at what point do you just chill and be happy with your winnings and how many times you just keep on riding it.
Right. Yeah.
An interesting conversation. And then, ultimately though, Arizona won that game. So we were talking about Braves money line, Braves run line in that one as well. B Square 81, Reds get their 2 aces back in August and are buyers at the deadline for another starter. That could be true. That could be true in terms of whether they're buying or not. I don't actually know if they would buy this time around because I think they're still a year away. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to see who are the guys that are going to be out there. In this Chicago versus Chicago game, I think you have some candidates for the trade deadline. On the Cubs side, a guy like Stroman. On the White Sox side, the Giolitos of the world. Oh, I don't like that. That's a base hit with 2 outs. The Mets are going to extend their lead. Mets are going to extend their lead. It is now 7-0. So we do, in fact, need the Yankees to do
need some runs.
Yep, we need some runs out of the Yankees. Braves have scored. Murphy single. They're still with the bases loaded. This time it's Marcell Ozuna who's up right now, and that guy strikes out a ton. That's a rally killer, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens there. Braves with the bases loaded, 1 out in Fenway. That game was delayed. Due to weather. I think this Colorado-Washington game was also delayed. What are you looking at?
Well, we got 1st and 3rd in Washington, and I've been holding off, waiting for that 3.5.
Right, but if they score here, you ain't going to get it.
Well, I'm not going to get it now either, even if they don't. I don't think. Are you able to see that real quick?
Sure, we can find
Washington team total.
We can find that. The Washington team total is still at 4.5. It's still at 4.5. So we'll see what happens if they get through the bottom of the second. If they do not score, that'll probably maybe fall back to 4 on the number. but we're looking for the 3.5. We're not getting it right now. Cubs are coming up to bat again. We need them to continue scoring. It's the bottom of their order, 6, 7, and 8. So we'll see if they can continue to get going. Remember, Kopech is on the other side for the Chi Sox. He's already thrown 56 pitches. So we'll see if we get to the bullpen there early on the south side.
What do you think about some runs in this Reds-Brewers game?
You know, I was looking at that. For another reason. What was it? Oh, the Dinger Tuesdays promotion that they do on FanDuel. And you know, I like to target the games with high totals. And for me, the only thing is, Matt, that what we just said. I don't think it's not a hitter's ballpark. If this game was in Cincinnati, you know, I'd feel a lot better, you know, but I do believe that the ballpark coefficient is a little bit, you know, I don't think it helps us. Now, Burns has thrown 38. Abbott's thrown 52 through 3. This game closed at 8, and it is now.
What's up, Jonathan?
It's now down to 5.5, though. It's down to 5.5. So while I don't necessarily know if I was going to get 8 runs, 5.5 is interesting. Something to look at, to be sure. I like the Milwaukee pen, especially on the back end.
Yeah, my problem with the runs here is Burns he's under 40 pitches.
Right.
I mean, he could be lights out at times. So
he can. He hasn't. You know, I will say this though, he has not had an amazing year.
Right. Yeah.
He has underperformed, in my opinion, this year.
Still good though. Still good.
Yeah. Interesting from Smokestack. Check it out. In these high first inning scorch games, the Braves then slow down after the first inning. He's saying, you know, so that could be an interesting thing to look at where, you know, by the way, Ozuna with a full count, still up, that they score early, and they have been a ton. And then you get them to push up that live line, you know, that live team total. And then maybe you can go under it. Definitely something to watch. Let's see if they do. Let's see if they do wind up scoring more than one here. Ozuna's still on, bases loaded in that one out. The Nationals scored, Matt. So there goes that team total. That team total is going to get pushed up now.
There went the 3.5, the 4, the 4.5. I mean, I bet it pregame at 4.5.
Okay.
Personally,
now the Nats team total, it's still at 4.5 though, even though they scored. Yeah. It's at 4.5. It's kind of juiced over as minus 120 right now.
Looks like the Colorado got out of that inning.
They did get out of it after 1. I got Ozuna still up with a full count, so we'll see what happens there. Bottom of the 7th for the Yankees. I need the Yanks to push 1 or 2 across. But remember, in that ballpark, you know, we could sneak one around the right field pole very, very easily. So
and the Yanks, not only do they have the best pen, they have the best pen by far, by a quarter run. They have the best pen. Mm-hmm. So,
but the same question though, Matt. You know, we're not going to see the Kings. We're not going to see the Clay Holmeses tonight down 7-0. Right. The question is, what we're hoping for is that we get the last guy in the end for the Mets bullpen. Kenny said that there's a play under review in Fenway, so we'll see what Ozuna did. But if they're reviewing it, they may be tacking on, which would feed into what Smokestack is saying, right?
Oh, Cubby score?
Ooh, they did.
They go yard?
Dansby went yard to start us off, so we like that. Like our name is Kirk Cousins. You know, and remember, there was a time, I think it was a couple episodes, when Dansby Swanson left like 7 men on base for us. And then at the very end, we got 3 runs off Devin Williams to make that over. But I was cursing Dansby Swanson for leaving so many men on base. Brooks Raley is who is in for the Mets.
Okay.
Opponent batting average of 211. He's given up 3 home runs, 8 of 20 inherited runners have scored against him. So too bad that there's nobody on. He doesn't inherit anybody.
25%, 8 of 20.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Listen, Cubs continuing. Morrow, who's up after Swanson, he gets on. Okay, so
Let's
you're
go.
right in terms of the Cubbies, potentially continuing to score runs. There's the idea of the Braves just had the day off. With a day off, Sean Murphy, his stats after a day off for the Braves are absolutely terrorded. Okay.
Do you put any credence in that?
No, I just see, nowadays out there on social media, you see somebody with a random stat
Right.
for everything, right? So I'm just relaying it. You can pick and choose if you think it's right. Kenny Swanson left the damn village that night on base in Milwaukee, but then they scored 3 runs off Devin Williams at the end, and we were okay. Rangers live plus 2.5 runs here. Oh, and this is the situation we like because it's 2-0. But you can get the Rangers.
We do like that situation, except we don't like the Rangers' pen.
That is
I think they're 3rd worst, 4th worst.
You know what? I can bring that up. I can bring up those stats. I have the bullpen stats.
But the Rangers can really hit. I mean, that lineup can really hit.
The Texas bullpen is the 4th worst in the majors,
4th worst,
pitching to a 4.8 ERA. The only bullpens worse than the Rangers, you can guess. It's Kansas City, Oakland, and Washington. Teams that are,
pick on every week.
Bottom of Major League Baseball. Texas, ironically, in 1st place, yet with that kind of bullpen. And I got to tell you, that does not bode well for them come the playoffs. Having that kind of bullpen. We know they can mash, but you're not going to be winning a ton of 8-7 games in the playoffs.
Right.
By the way, this guy rarely hit the leadoff man for the Yankees.
Okay.
So you do get a man on. Like I said, we get a little home run here. We're okay. Brian Smith is defending his Rangers play, saying basically it's a play on the offense. He
100%. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Their pen isn't that great, but at the same time, they can score. They are, however, done with the 4th. We're going into the top of the 5th in Houston, 2-0, and let's see. We could still get that. Let's see if we could still get that 2.5.
That's what I was saying.
I will say this though, the Rangers 2.5 right now, at least. Brian is minus 150.
Yeah, but let's forget all that. Brian has a good point. So why don't we forget all that, and we look at the Rangers team total, because that's what we're interested in here is their offense.
On the offense, right? Let's remove the variable of the blunt guts trash bullpen.
So we have half the game left. Is there any chance we can get? I know we can't get 2.5, but I'm gonna ask.
No, it's even better. I'm staring at 2 on the number.
Well, so that's a play, Brian.
Ooh,
right?
Did that go out? Oh, Anthony Volpe hit one off on the wall. Yankees with 2nd and 3rd. Oh, run scores.
Okay.
Run scores, man on 2nd. We got the run back that we lost in the top of the 7th. Now Volpe's on 2nd, still nobody out. And
Let's go. We need a run right here.
This is the rough underbelly. All right. This is the rough underbelly. Yeah, from Mount Statistician, terrorded. That's right. You know what it is.
So what do you think about that, Brian and Dan? We try to pick up that 2 real quick in the Rangers.
Team total. I like the team total better than the plus 2.5 because listen, I think you laid it out perfectly, Matt. Because the hesitation with the plus 2.5 in the game is that Rangers pet, right? And Houston can continue to mash,
right?
But if you isolate the variable, and Brian Smith is saying, I like it's a play on the offense. Well, then let's just play on the offense.
Let's just play the offense.
Let's just play on the offense.
The only downside is Astros do have a good pen, but I think we have 5 at bats, right? Yep. We have 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9 to get 2 runs. Yep. I think that's a good thing. Should we put it up? What do you think?
We would have to do it right now. They're coming up in the top of the 5th. I'm reminded of last time out where we got the Tampa Bay Rays at 1 on the team total, if you remember that one.
What a bet that was.
That was great. That was great. We hit that one
do
every
it.
way we wanted to. It's plus money right now. Also, let's do it. So what we're saying here, Rangers over 2 team total right now. That I saw it at plus 102. We're clicking submit on this one, Matt.
Let's do it.
I like it as well.
Shit! We should put out our plays.
Yes, the next wave is going to start. Matter of fact, why don't you tell everybody your play for Pittsburgh and San Diego? Yes. I'm going to go make this bet and then put it up. And by the way, this guy Raley's now 3-0 on the 9-hitter Higashioka in the Bronx.
Let's turn it over.
Like that.
Yeah, so my late night play is going to be on my Pirates. Manny Machado owns Dick Mountain. Dick Mountain's bad at throwing baseballs. And he's struggling. And to be honest, his teammates hate him at this point. He yells at his teammates every game. I mean, he's the oldest player in baseball, and he acts like a 12-year-old. I know that has nothing to do with the play, but I just had to vent for a second. But Machado's seen him a ton. I want to say it was, 30 or 40 times. In this day and age, that's a lot. So we're going to take Machado over, what was it, 1.5? Was
total base?
Yep, over 1.5, and it's an even money.
Yep.
So let's just get a double off Dick Mountain, and we're good. Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot. Man, you know what, though? I am slow on the draw. The Texas team total went to 2.5. He did it in time. We wanted it on the number, but
yeah, I don't know if we wanted it 2.5.
Heavily juiced, but that's all right.
Do we want it at 2.5? Well, I don't know whether we do.
I just know I don't, but it just fell back to 2.
Oh, it did. Okay.
It fell back to 2. So I'm going to do a couple of things. And by the way,
we got a runner on, right?
So now we turn over to the top of the Yankees lineup. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. And this guy is struggling to find the plate right now.
Struggle bus. So looks like we got the leadoff guy on for the Rangers. No outs, right?
We do have the leadoff man on. Heim, the catcher, I think he was an all-star at the bottom of the lineup. But these guys, the bottom of the lineup is Ezekiel Duran, who's been good all season.
Heim's been decent for a catcher.
That's what I'm saying. Heim is the one who's on base right now, so I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Let me take this down.
I think they got Mitch Garver in the A-hole.
Yeah. Let me. What was this? This was Texas team total over 2. Minus 120 when I saw it. All right, so now we got 3 plays in the books. Pop up, though, for the top of the order from the Yankees. They get 1 out. We still need them to score. We need them to score a little bit more in this inning because right here we got now, this is 2 and 3 and 4 coming up for the Yankees with men on base and 1 out. Buck Showalter going to the mound. He's seen enough, it looks like. So see about that. Texas, we need to score. The other thing we need are the Cubbies. The Cubbies got a run in their part of the 4th, so they're at 4 already. That looks good. That's on pace at least. And looks like we might be making a pitching change in the Bronx with men on, Torres, Stanton, and Rizzo up next, although those 3 guys are a combined 1 for 8 on the game so far.
Okay. Yeah, let's push across a run here for the Yanks, and
we need a run for the Yanks, and we need a run for the Rangers.
I would say right here, we have at least a 50-50 chance of getting that run in.
Yeah, Duran lined out, so we got a man on first, 1 out. So we'll see what happens there. What I will also do, you gave your play for the 9:30 games. I'll tell everybody what I'm looking at here for the 9:30 games. I'm looking at this Giants-A's game, everybody, and I'm just looking at the total. I'm under 8.5. All right, I'm under 8.5 in this. It is minus 115, not the minus 110 last time I saw it. But here's why. We all know Oakland, another one of my terms, guys, is blunt guts trash. And that's what the Oakland A's offense is. They are last in the league in runs scored, last in the league in slugging percentage. They're facing Cobb tonight, who's an ERA just over 3. And he actually had a bad outing last time on the road in Cincinnati. So I expect this is a beautiful elixir for a bounce back facing this Oakland A's offense. The other part of it is on the Giants side, they are struggling right now offensively. They've lost their last 6 games in a row. And in that span, they've only scored 9 runs. over the last 6 games. So I think their offense is struggling. We know about Oakland. And the last piece on this is something that I'd like to get your thoughts on, Matt, because you just asked, like, do I put any stock into that random stat, right? One thing that I'll tell you, I do believe is more, it's not a stat. I think it's a, I guess it's a mantra that some people believe in. The Giants just had a long road trip, and this is their first game back home off the road trip. And a lot of times, those teams come out flat a little bit. First game of the homestand. So that's just another little piece for me where I'm okay going under the 8.5. What do you think about that? A team coming back home after a long road trip. Does that matter to you at all?
I mean, I can't.
You can say no. You can be like, dang, you're fucking stupid if you want.
I can't think of a reason why that's a big thing. But again, if you add up a little stat here, this little stat here, this little stat here, it may end up being a half a run. You know what I mean? What I mean? So, yeah.
We'll see. So, regardless, that's not the only reason I like the under, but I'm on the under 8.5 for the Giants and the A's. That game, along with Pirates Padres that Matt was on, those get going first pitch in about 20 minutes or so. I got a big at bat here in the Bronx now. Gleyber Torres, they did go to the bullpen.
They get bad.
Gleyber Torres, men on first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Yanks down by 6. We've got them plus 5.5. Umpire coming out. Oh, we're checking for sticky stuff. We're checking for stuff, it looks like.
WT, what do you mean even with the streak? What do you mean by that? You mean, I know the Giants lost 6 in a row.
In those 6 games, they scored 9 runs total. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the offense is struggling.
No, I was talking about WT. He's asking even with the streak. And I'm asking him what he means by that.
I thought you were asking me. No, yeah, W2. What streak are you talking about?
Hey, what up, Ron? Good to see you, buddy.
Yep. Ron Crawford in the building saying what's up to Twatty. Unfortunately, Texas did not score.
They grounded a double play.
They're out of that inning. Cubs, however, have the leadoff man on in their top of the 5th. Okay, remember, we need the Cubs. I think it was, 6.5? Oh, 6 on the number.
6, yeah, we got a little better on that.
So what do we got? WT says extra motivation with the streak. We've lost 6 in a row, so we're going to try harder. I don't know if I buy that. I think
one thing I am with streaks is I bet streaks. I mean, unfortunately, and not that I'm right, WT. You could be right, but I would usually bet against the team that lost 6 in a row.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Continue to happen. When you bet a streak, you can be right a number of times. You're only going to be wrong once. I got Aaron Boone yelling at an umpire here because of whatever the whatever the check was. Apparently, Boone didn't like it. He's telling him he's a bunch of savages in the box right now. That's what he's talking about. So we'll see what happens there. Demetrius wants to know if there's any home run picks for the late night game. We dabbled in that in our first episode, but we're not doing that. We just want to give you winners to be.
Take a Padre. I mean, I would say take a Padre. I mean, you got Rich Hill starting. Rich Hill starting, and the Pirates got a trash pen. You could play Tatis. You could play Soto. You could play Machado. You could play even Xander Bogaerts at a big plus number.
Right. So we're on the Padres. Like, listen, the Fathers are minus 270. I think they closed that, right? So you're not going to play that kind of juice if you want to find other ways to get in on that. WT says he hears us. He understands the idea of the streak. I personally, 2-0 to Gleyber, I believe here. We like that.
Let's go.
Yeah. We need a little. I need a double in the gap out of Gleyber Day is what I'm looking for. To me, when I reject the premise a lot of times of like extra motivation or they're going to want it. They're going to try. They're effing professional athletes. It's their job to want it every single day, you know? So that's the way I feel about it. Another ball to Gleyber. It is.
They walked him. They walk him?
It's 3-0 I've got to Gleyber Torres.
I think they walked him.
Stanton on deck, although, you know, that's not something I love. Stanton is a ground ball double play or a pop-up waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens here. Oh, they did walk Gleyber.
This is loaded. Let's go.
This now. Bases loaded 1 out in the Bronx. It's Stanton coming up. Yanks are currently down by 6. We have them plus 5.5. So a base knock here would really help us out. We also have Nico Horner, I believe, on third base with 1 out in Chicago. So we need something there to push that run across. Cody Bellinger is up. So we get that run in, we're almost home. I think that's a huge run. If we can get to 5 here, Matt, with still 3 at-bats left to go, that would be nice for that.
That would be huge. Nico is really coming into
Horner?
Last year, his rookie year, he looked lost at the plate. Now he's raking. He's hitting the right field. He's got that nice double power. I mean, he still really hasn't got that home run power, but
I think that's part of the sneaky Cubs offense, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it. Nico Horner is kind of one of these guys that you don't think about, but is really having a good year. I mean, I would say Hap, Swanson, all these guys, are performing a little bit over expectations.
Yeah, Patrick Wisdom, when he's playing, he's always in the 8 or 9 hole. That guy can really hit.
Oh, Stanton. That'll work. It's a line drive to right. That'll get 1 run in. I thought it was one of these missiles that you could hang a clothesline on that might have gotten over the wall in right. Like Volpe hit the wall in right. Stanton, with him, the exit velo on everything is out of this world. So we
got 5.5, right?
We have plus 5.5, and now it's a 5-run lead.
And we got a guy on third. Let's bounce it.
We got first and third. Yep, we got first and third. Rizzo up with 2 out. So we get a base knock out of Rizzo here. I always say it. Some more.
I always say it. A balk. I'll take a balk. I'll take a wild pitch.
Sure.
I'll take an error.
I'll take some pitch clock violations, whatever the case may be.
How about this one? How about catcher's interference?
Sure. I'll take it all. Give me an error. I don't give a damn. Rizzo is up here. It's Leon, by the way, on the hill for the Mets. Again, rough underbelly of the bullpen. We're not getting the A guys coming out of the Mets pen. Now, remember, we have the Yankees plus 5.5. They are down by 5, and the Mets only have 6 outs left to go. Okay? The Mets only have 6 outs left to go. So, quite frankly, I'd love the Yankees to score here, but if they don't, all we need is the Mets to make 6 outs, and that one is good. Clay Bellinger did hit a sacrifice fly. Nico Horner scores, and that is 5-0 now, Cubbies. All right? So just to recap there. This has been a nice little 5 minutes for us here on Live Line. The Yankees get back within the number. The Cubs get 5 out of the 6 they need, and we're at the top of the 5th. We're here on Live Lines. Dane Martinez, Matt Dickson, putting the fun in functional sports content. That's what we do here. You love it, Matty. Come on. I got a million of them, brother, man.
Putting the fun in functional. That was pretty good.
That's right. It was originally back in the day, I was the hype man for a rap group. I'm sure you could see that, right? And we used to say that we put the fun in functional pothead. So the fun and functional is always something to,
I like that. I like that.
For sure. That's what we're doing here. Anthony Rizzo strikes out on a pitch that was at his helmet. So the Mets get out of the inning. Mets fans are cheering, but they don't know that we have them plus 5.5. So we're in decent shape there. Mets have 6 outs left to go.
So Dane, this is your team. What are the Yanks going to do? Who are they bringing in out of the pen? I mean, are they going to go to their big guys or not?
They're not.
No, of course not.
I don't think they are.
So they're going to bring out their underbelly, and we got to hook.
Yeah, this is going to be some underbelly. Yes, this is going to be a lot of underbelly going on. It is 5, 6, 7 for the Mets. This is a dangerous spot here. They got the kid Alvarez, who's been a beast for them. 19 homers already on the year for the kid. They go Vogelbach, Alvarez, Beatty. So we'll see who they bring in. But to your point, it's not going to be the Michael Kings. It's not going to be the Clay Holmeses of the world. Like I said, I told you, Tom. I said Rizzo strikes out at the ball on his helmet. We got Tom Zaffino in the chat saying Rizzo swings above his damn head. I'm with you. T-Pick, by the way, says Tatis has the highest home run odds on the late slate.
It's probably in the 300s. I bet.
Maybe even like a 290 or something. Let me tell you. Let's find out. It might even be below 3-1. Let's see. I'm going to try and get to that one here. And then let's go around the board and see if there's any other games that we could talk about. Look, by the way, still scoreless in Milwaukee. Remember, I was like, I don't know about runs being scored there. Still scoreless in Milwaukee. Still 2-0 Astros in that one. So we need Texas to get on the gravy train here. What were we looking at? We're looking at the Fathers.
There may be some runs in that Red Sox Braves game.
It's 2-1 Boston. And I was right. I said it may be shy of 3-1. Fernando Tatis to go yard is plus 290.
Nice call. Yeah.
So it is just shy of 3-1. Machado is at plus 320. Soto at 4-1. So I would go lower. I'd be looking at some of these other guys, the Bogarts of the world.
Yeah, Bogart.
The Cronenworth. Yeah, exactly. Those guys.
I like Machado, though, I got to tell you.
Bogarts plus 680. 7-1 to go yard. It's never bad. I ain't mad at that. To be sure. Cubs are still hitting. We got Suzuki on first base, 2 outs, but Swanson up. Remember, Swanson has already gone yard in this one. And if he goes yard again, I'll forgive him for all the men he left on base last time around. He would get our Cubs bet to be a winner. So right now we have viral video.
Yeah, viral. I mean, I'd have to think about it for a second, but just snap bet, I think that's probably pretty good.
Yeah, Braves getting the 1.5. That one is 2-1. Still a lot of time left.
And Atlanta has, I think, the second best pen.
Atlanta, I'll tell you that right now, actually. In terms of ERA, at least, it is. In terms of ERA, it's 3.5.
So, I mean, think about that. Obviously, we're nowhere near the pen, but if you got that plus 1.5, that puts you in the lead, and you got the better pitching going the rest of the way. So, but 140 is kind of tough, though, viral.
F&A. Leadoff double for the Mets.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Underbelly.
Yep, it sure is. Chris E. just put the kids to bed. So he's ready to try and join us and make some money. We like that. What's going on, Chris?
All right. So what happened in the Cubs? Are they out of the inning?
Suzuki stole second, so we got a runner in scoring position now for Dansby. Full count on Dansby.
He walked him.
Oh, did he? Okay, so you're a little ahead of me. So Morel then is up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see here. You know what I'll say about the Mets? The rough underbelly is definitely true. Also, because they're up 5, it's not like they're going to try and manufacture a run. They're not going to bunt them over to third. They're not whatever. They're just swinging from their, they're swinging from their shoe tops, still trying to crush.
We do have first and second in Houston for the Rangers. 1 out.
We do.
We get a double here. We're there.
And it's now first and third. 2 outs. Yeah, there was a fielder's choice.
With 1 out or 2?
What's that?
With 1 out or 2?
No, 2 outs. There was just a fielder's choice. So now runners on the corners. They got the force at second. So, and it's that guy Garcia who can rake. He was in the home run derby.
Yeah.
We got a ground ball to the left side for the Mets, so the runner did not advance. 1 out. The guy is still on second. That's not bad. We'll see what happens there. So listen, we got interesting spots here. Texas has the potential to score. We want that. The Cubbies have the potential to score. We want that. And we got to hold off the Mets here. Beatty is up. Runner on second, 1 out.
0-2.
Ramirez, who's in for the Yankees, by the way. Nick Ramirez pitching to a 3.2 ERA so far on the year.
Yeah, Beatty's in an 0-2 hole. 2 outs. Must have struck him out.
Beatty just struck. Oh, did he go? Yes, he did. So there's 2 outs. There is 2 outs now.
This would be huge, Dane.
That'll bring up Marcana. This is a huge at-bat here for Kana. Because also, if I can get out of this, I'm staring at 9-1-2 in the 9th. This is a big out here. I need my man, Nicky Ramirez, to get us an out. Cubbies are still up there. Oh, Texas has scored. The Rangers scored.
Okay.
That's good.
Nice.
Garcia reached on an error.
Okay.
Garcia reached on an error. Simeon came around to score. So we're halfway home. Rangers have one. We're on the over 2. 2 would be a push. Remember, that was fluctuating between 2 and 2.5.
Mid-8th.
Oh, that's a fly ball. That's a fly ball. We got it. Yankees are out of the inning.
So 3 outs. We need 3 outs.
Yankees are out of the inning. We need 3 outs in the Bronx, and that plus 5.5 would work. Or I could just have the Yankees tack on here and score in the bottom of the 8th, or quite frankly, get a garbage run in the bottom of the 9th. Remember, the Yankees will hit in the bottom of the 9th, most likely.
Looking at Sumner's, what's he talking about?
The Rangers Astros. Will there be a run scored in the 6th inning? That's over half a run in the 6th, is what he's saying. And,
I mean, with these 2 offenses, probably, but it would depend on the juice, right?
No, but it's already happened, though. He's saying that
we're already in the 6th, yeah.
Texas scored already. So what we're looking at is that your boy Joe.
Nice. He hit it. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he already hit that with the little check mark. So we like that.
Let's get a gapper in this Texas game and just.
Yeah, the guy Jung, he was an all-star.
Just
he
might
be rookie of the year.
He's a stud.
He might be rookie of the year in the AL if you want to know the truth.
He's one of my favorite young players. Yeah.
This guy JP France for the they got out of it. Jung struck out.
And the Cubs didn't score.
And the Cubs are out of it as well. Okay. So these are our 3 hot spots right now. JP France going for the Astros is 77 pitches in after 6.
Wow.
We may see him for 1 more inning.
He's cruising.
Cubs are out of the 5th. They're at 5. We need at least 6.
We got basically half the game.
They're now down 5.
So, we're a big time favorite in that Cubs game. I mean, we have the 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 4 innings to worst case get 1 run.
Correct.
So,
and Kopech, by the way, is done. He's at 102 pitches. He got through 5 innings, but at 102 pitches. So we're going to see that White Sox bullpen. And for reference, the White Sox bullpen, bottom 5 in Major League Baseball, 4.66 ERA. So I feel good about that.
Walked it off.
Philly walk-off?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, they walked it off after tying the game at 3, Quaddy. Okay, so remember I talked about that 6.5 that I was leading over?
Yep.
And I said if you get to 3-3, it was home free. They got to 3-3. Then they hit the over. There it is. And Seth McClanahan saying hit the 6.5 over in the Phils game. Thanks for that call. We didn't make it official. And I said I was always hoping to see if it got to 5.5. I wanted to see when it came off the board and all that. So Baltimore took a 3-2 lead in the top of the 8th. Philly with 2 in the bottom of the 9th to win that game. And I got to tell you something, when Matt's telling you about our record over the last 3 shows, we also are saying a lot of stuff that we're not officially putting in. I'm not officially putting on the scroll because quite frankly, and you guys were joking, half actually complimenting me, I think last time, we're doing a lot of stuff. We're hosting the show. We're looking at this. We're looking at this. We don't get a chance to follow up and circle back to everything we're talking about. But if you were with us at the start of the show, literally the first thing I said tonight was the idea of that 2-2 game, liking the 6.5. We talked about it conceptually, and that's exactly what wound up happening because 3-3 necessitated 4-3 over 6.5. Seth McClanahan, I'm glad that you nailed that. But, Matt, we can only do what we can do, right? And
I remember back. That was the one you said to me. What do I think? And I was like, "Hey, I'm putting this one on you."
And I said I wanted to wait. I said
no. I didn't mean I meant that was a good call. I just couldn't take a position.
I hear you. And we don't. Like I said, with the action flying fast and furious here, we don't get a chance to always follow up and circle back to everything. But Seth, I'm glad that you took it off the grip and we're like, yeah, let's do it. Thanks for the call. You are quite welcome, my friend.
Real quick, what are you seeing for the Nats team total?
Oh, you still want to go to that Nats team total?
Hey,
right?
I'm looking at it.
You're right, but you're right because they're still only at 1, and now we're in the bottom of the 4th, so it may have dropped down a little bit more. Let's check it out. You're looking for 3.5, correct?
I mean, I'd like 3.5.
Yeah. So let's see. And they got a man on second. With 2 outs. Nationals team total. You've got the 3.5. It's 3.5.
And what kind of juice?
Over minus 118.
So
Where
we
are
need.
though?
I don't know. We still need 3 runs in that.
Listen, you say this a lot, Matt. You say bad teams do bad things.
100%.
The Washington Nationals are a bad team.
Yeah, but how do we really can't put that into use right now, right?
I wouldn't do it right now in the middle of the inning, no. I don't know if this. Yeah, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't do it. If you want to take a strong position on it, I'll ride with you as always.
Yeah, no, I'm good for the moment.
Okay. Yankees got a bloop single. It looked like out of Harrison Bader.
Okay.
They got a runner on, but with 1 out.
I feel like there's going to be runs in that Braves Red Sox game.
That's where I was just going to go. Talk to me again about the Bo Sox and the Bravos here. So it looks to me like, oh yeah, let's go. First and third for the Yankees, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
This would be a huge run. Huge run.
Yeah, that gives me a 1-run cushion against the rough underbelly potentially in the top of the 9th for the Mets. I like that to be sure. And the Yankees have Volpe up, who remember stroked the liner off the wall last at bat.
That could be worse. I'm cool with that.
Cool.
He should get the run in.
Yeah. Listen, I get a sac fly. I'm okay. I even get a tough ground ball that doesn't result in 2, and the kid can move. That gets me a run in. So we'll see what happens. And again, to our point, I'm trying to explain to everybody our thinking here. It's Hartwig in for the Mets. Okay, in the 8th inning, right? So this is like this is not your A reliever coming in trying to protect a 1-run lead. Okay, it's a 5-run game right now. Although Yankees could make it a lot closer with a shot out of Volpe.
Man, I'll tell you what. Why am I having a brain fart? Who's the kid, the Mets closer that got hurt?
Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, he really made a difference this year by not being there.
With the trumpets blaring and all that stuff. And
he was lights out last year.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, the shame is how it happened, right? Celebrating in the WBC. Oh, God. You know, that'll really hurt you.
2-0, 2-0, 3-0.
I got a 2-0 count on Volpe.
It's 3-0. Give him the green light.
Better.
Give him the green light. He's going to get a pitch to hit.
You think he's swinging here? No, because remember, they want to load the bases here. The real Yankees are looking to get a ton of runs. They're not just looking for the one safety run plus 5.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
the real Yankees.
Good point.
Are looking to put up a crooked number here. They're not trying to manufacture.
If it was 2-2, then yeah.
And in essence, in our bet, it is 2-2. You know what I mean? But Aaron Boone doesn't know about our bet, nor does he care. Unfortunately, we go to the top of the 6th in Chicago.
All right.
The sneaky good Cubs offense will have 8, 9, and 1 coming up. We just need 1 more inning, and Kopech is out for the Chi Sox. So we're starting to get to that bullpen. And here we go also in the Houston game, because Houston answers right back and scores in the bottom of the 6th. So that's now 3-1. That's fine. Part of the reason why we were thinking about the Rangers team total instead of the Rangers plus 2.5, because, you know, the Astros can continue to score. Volpe 3-0. Let's see what happens here. They walked Volpe.
The advantage,
so bases loaded.
It's the advantage, obviously, you know, to the bases loaded. Well, now he's going to say if he throws a 50-foot curveball, but no, the guy was on third anyway. But yeah, I guess the only advantage for them is they go home to first now, and they couldn't before that.
The 1-2-3 double play is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly though, it's the rough underbelly not being able to find the plate. is what it is. Like, that was 4 pitches in a row. That was a 4-pitch walk. So we like where we are here to potentially get some more. Before this game starts, viral video in the chat, Matt, saying it's hard to bet against the Dodgers, but he doesn't like Urias this year, the rec specs. Right. And maybe the Jays. And I'll tell you what, the Jays have Bassett on the hill.
Yeah.
And Bassett has been good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're right. Urias pitching to an over 5 ERA so far.
That's shocking to me. Yeah. When I watch him pitch, he's not a 5 ERA guy. He's not even a 4 ERA guy. Something's going on with him this year. I mean, I think that guy's really good in general. Obviously, he's struggling. But I think in general, I mean, he's a good pitcher. So, is he going to snap out of it on this, this day? I mean, the Jays can mash.
They can, and the Jays are plus 126 on the money line. But viral videos even saying as a play against Urias, first 5, potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're picking on a pitcher, you do first 5. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on here in the Mets game? You're watching it, right?
Showalter just went to the pen again. Bases loaded, 1 out. The Yankees announced the pinch hitter for Higashioka, and then Showalter's making the change. And interestingly enough, it looks like they're bringing in David Robertson because now, so there goes the rough underbelly. Because now the bases loaded in a 5-run game. I mean, this guy represents coming back to 7-6 potentially. Yeah. So they have to now start to, bring in the heavy hitters there, at least in the Mets pen.
Well, he's got that nasty curveball. Hopefully he'll spike one.
He does have the 12-6. Yep. He does, and he's got a little cutter action as well. But remember, literally anything besides a ground ball double play here will potentially get us that cushion run. Remember, we're holding the Yanks plus 5.5 at plus 120, by the way. I'll make that point as well. We got that plus 5.5 plus 120. So that's a nice little bet right there with that juice.
The Cubs went 1, 2, 3.
And then we're on the Cubs. We need a run out of the Cubs, and we need a run out of the Rangers. Both of those games in the bottom of the 6th, in essence, with both of our teams, the visitors. So we will get 3 more at-bats for both of those teams to get 1 run, at least.
I think the White Sox are like 5th worst. Who just won?
White Sox pen, 5th worst at 4.66. In the chat, Seth wants to let you know specifically, Matt, because I'm worried about it, but that the Nats over 3.5 is now sitting at plus money. We're going to the bottom of the 5th, so 7, 8, and 9 up for Washington.
I like that, the fact that it's plus money. I think we're going to get 2.5 here at some point.
Matt's ready to push his luck. No whammy, and stop.
I don't know. I mean, you're right, and I've been looking at them all night, and they should get to Colorado, and they got 5 more at bats.
They do.
We need 3 runs. I want 2 runs.
You would need 3 runs. So you're looking now for like 3 on the number.
I'm just being greedy here.
You are. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Kenny wants to know thoughts on the Braves. The Braves money line plus money. They're plus. I see them at plus 142, down by a run. Red Sox in the bottom of the 6th have a man on 2nd and 1 out. I'm not mad at that.
That is nice juice.
Plus 140 for the best team in baseball, only in the 2nd inning, down a run. There's worse bets out there. I'll say that. Oh, don't give me a double play ball. They don't turn it. They don't turn it. They only get 1. Ground ball, they only get 1. Yankees close the gap to 7-3.
So we got that insurance run.
So 7-3, runners on the corners, and we go back up to the top of the inning. And by the way, this may sound like it doesn't matter, but we're set up to have the meat of the Yankees order in the bottom of the 9th. if we need
If we need it, yeah.
If we need more, if the Mets come on back and score again. Yanks do get one.
Who started for the Red Sox? Do we remember? The chat will probably help us.
They were TBD for most of the day.
Okay.
They were TBD for most of the day. So I forget who they brought in, but wasn't anybody. And now it looks like they have Nick Pivetta on the hill.
Okay. Oh, maybe was it Pivetta, Morton? Why am I thinking?
It is. It's Pivetta versus Morton. Yes.
Okay.
It is Pivetta versus Morton.
Shit. You got me thinking, Kenny, on that Braves.
The Braves one is interesting.
It is interesting.
It is.
Can we get? Well, I don't know.
It might not be that well anymore because Boston just got. They're done in the top of the. So now it's down to 108 plus 108. 30 cents was lost because the Red Sox are out of the second.
That was a good look by Kenny. I don't know.
It was. Hey, he took a shot at them.
We got time. We still have time in that game too. All right, the Mets got
plus 110. We could still take
got out.
They just showed a stat on the Yankees-Mets game, by the way. Verlander. They showed Verlander and his line, and then the Mets bullpen line. The Mets bullpen has given up all 3 runs.
Right. Yeah.
Get out of it, by the way. So we're done with 7-3 Mets. We need 3 outs out of the Mets, and our first play of the night here on Live Lines will be a winner.
You gotta think that either the Rangers or the Cubs, between them, they have 7 more at bats.
Oh yeah.
They're going to get 1 run.
On too. Our guy Hine, the catcher, he got on leadoff walk for the Rangers.
Okay, he hits in like the 7 hole or something, I think.
He was in the 6 hole.
Okay.
So Duran, but the bottom of this order, remember, Rangers can hit. So Duran has been good. He's their 7 hitter. Mitch Garver is in the 8th spot as the DH. Yeah. And this guy JP France, okay, what do I always say? It's, we're coming to the, he's at 82 pitches. So he's at the end of his rope, and again, I like it that Houston, the real Astros, think they have 2 runs to play with, but for our bet, we only need them to get to 2.
Yeah.
Kenny, shout out to Kenny. He took them, them being the Braves, at plus 140. And
no problem with that.
I am not mad at that either. I'm wondering, I see that plus 108. Just moved to minus 102. So what did Austin Riley do to lead off the inning? And that's the thing, we always, the book is always ahead. The book is always ahead. So when I see the line change from plus 110 to minus 102, something happened.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Riley must have done something. We'll see what.
So, wonder who the Yanks are going to put in. It's a close enough game.
Marinaccio.
Okay.
Doesn't really impress me.
Yeah, depending on what the first 1 or 2 hitters do, we'll see if he determines.
Rangers out of the 7th.
They grounded into a double play.
Garver grounded into a double play. So we don't like that. We stayed away from the total in Milwaukee. That's 2-0 in the 6th. We're going to the top of the 7th in Chicago. Your boy Nico Horner leading it off. This is our shot right here, Matt. Horner, Happ, Bellinger.
Well, hopefully we'll get those guys up again in the 9th, worst case.
Yeah, we'll get through them one more time, hopefully. But we want the run right here so we don't have to worry about it. Austin Riley's still up in Fenway to lead off that top of the 3rd for the Bravos. Plus 108. Riley struck out So it moves back to plus money, plus 108 for Atlanta to come back.
I mean,
I'm
Boston,
still interested by this.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Boston isn't a bad team.
No, that's right. You're right.
I think maybe 5 games over or something, but
and the Yankees are like 5 games over and in dead last in the division, you know?
yeah, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Where?
Yanks game, no outs, 1 out.
2 on the leadoff man. There.
1 out. Yep.
Nemo's
up.
Oh, you got Nemo up already?
Yeah, 1 out.
Oh, they got an out, so we just need 2 more. Yeah, he struck out Stewart at the bottom of the order. So now it's Nemo and Lindor here, 2 outs, and we're home free on our first bet of the night. And then
we do have a run. We have a run buffer in that game too.
We do. So if Lindor goes solo shot, I'm not mad. And we have a bottom of the 9th, to be honest, also there.
Yeah,
yep. Bottom of the 9th there as well, to be sure. Your boy, Matt. Nico Horner solo shot to lead off the 7th. He goes yard, and it is the 6th Cubs run of the
At least
night.
we got a push.
Yeah, that's the worst we do is push there, but now we still got 9 outs to get 1 run. Okay, but the worst we could do is push. Cubs team total at 6. And listen, Matty has been talking about Nico Horner not only today, but in our previous shows, talking about that Cubs offense, to be sure. All right, so remember that we're doing all right here. 0-2 count on Nimmo as well here in the 9th. So things are starting to round into form. The only thing that I'm worried about now are the Rangers.
6 outs. I mean, with that offense, 6 outs is usually a 1 run.
Yep. So we're gonna get through the meat of the order one more time, either in the 8th in a rally or in the 9th, because we're starting the 8th 9-1-2 for Texas.
So right? I bet their team total right now is 2. You know, the book probably has it at 2.
Probably. I'll double check that, but you're probably right.
Yeah, no biggie. Whatever.
You're probably right. So we'll see what happens there. They're still offering you the 2.5, but at minus 280. The team total for the Rangers, they're not giving it to me. It's not. I don't see it on the board right now. So we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, whatever.
2-2 count on Nimmo.
3-2.
Okay. All right.
No walks here.
And I'm looking at Houston. Did they?
I have Houston.
Maldonado just went yard. So that makes it 4-1 Astros.
Okay, good.
So now that 2.5 we were talking about the 2.5, and we opted to not do that. We opted to go the team total instead. We'll see what happens. But, you know, now at least we're just talking about just the Rangers offense, which is our point in that one. Hap singled, so we got nobody out. Hap now on first. 3-0 count on Bellinger. So we'd love it if the Cubbies could push another run across in this one as well. Atlanta, I don't know if you like this, Matt. Atlanta goes out of their half of the third, 1-2-3. So that should make the Braves number go back up. Remember, we saw that 140 dip down to around 110. It should be back up to, I would say, like 130, 135, because they're now through with their part of the third, I believe it is. And it's 125-ish. Walk Nimmo. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like Lindor with the chance to, with one swing, make me lose here.
Yep.
I don't like that.
And you know he's going to be throwing strikes right here. You know,
yeah, that's the thing. It's throwing strikes, and he's going to be swinging from his shoe tops. So that is not something I am excited about.
Not an ideal double play candidate
either. That is correct. And then we get into the polar bears of the world, which does not feel good. So we still got a little sweat here in the Bronx. Pittsburgh up 1-0. So I ask you.
We know what you're going to ask me.
Yeah. How do you like minus 130?
What, for the Padres?
Yeah.
It went from minus 270 to minus 130?
It sure did.
How many outs are in this inning?
Nobody out, man on second still for Pittsburgh. But it's the second inning, and
the Padres are going to they're going to score.
It went from minus 270 to minus 135
for a one run. Although
and a threat with a man on second, but yeah. Oh shit! Go foul! Go foul! It's foul.
Why are you fucking with me? Did he hit it? Did he almost go yard? Did he almost go yard?
Yeah. Upper deck, but foul. Upper tank, but foul. He's on it. But it's an 0-2 count. It's an 0-2 count. But I didn't like that swing. I tell you that. Can we take care of Lindor here, please? Still 0-2. Still 0-2.
What's the Pirate game at?
The Pirates game is now they're minus 150 because they got an out. 10 cents per out is what we're looking at right now. They're down by one, and what was, like I said, we'll close at minus 270 is now minus 130, 140.
What do you think? I kind of like taking the Padres here.
I like the Padres money line.
You want to do it?
I want to stare at this Lindor at bat a little bit more, but yes. Or what about, maybe this is tempting fate here, but Padres on the run line is plus 150 now.
No, because they may not get that 9 at bats.
Okay. But I'm down to do it.
They're going to be out of the inning now, though. Well,
it just went to minus 180. So whatever okay, so that's gone away.
But I like it at like minus 150-ish.
Ground ball to the middle of the infield. Can I get a ground ball to the middle of the infield?
What is going on in the Yankee Stadium? Does he keep fouling them off?
He's fouled off like 4 in a row. That first one that was a shot, and he's fouled off the next 3 pitches. Okay. Double play in Chicago. Strike him out, throw him out. Double play in Chicago. Bellinger strikes out, and they catch Happ trying to steal. So they're still at 6.
What is Ian Happ stealing for?
I don't know. Up 6-1.
With Bellinger at the plate.
Up 6-1. We're going to get to the Texas. Oh, excuse me. Not a double play. They must have reviewed it or something. Happ's on second.
Okay.
They overturned the call. Happ is safe. They overturned the call. So it was out. It did get reviewed. So now we got Happ in scoring position.
Like I said, he should have been stealing.
There you go. Of course, right? Yeah. So now we're looking at Suzuki up 1 out. And, Happ, after the stolen base, is on second in scoring position. Thanks to Kenny for letting us know they overturned it. Lindor, this is like his 11th pitch of the year.
This next one's going to be the 10th.
Okay. I don't like it. Oof. He went out of the zone to foul off another one. 1-2 count. This is where you got to throw a slider in the dirt. You got to go out of the strike zone.
The longer there's more pressure on the pitcher to throw a strike in these situations.
Yeah, the longer the at-bat goes. I agree with you. But that's what I'm saying. You got to try and get him fishing here or something. All right, here's another pitch in the at-bat.
Oh, what the fuck? He must have doubled.
Base knock out of Lindor. We got first and third. Fuck.
Fucking Jeff McNeil's up, too.
First and third with McNeil and then Alonso.
I'd rather have Alonso up, clearly.
Yeah. McNeil put the bat on ball.
Yeah.
That's the problem. All right. So no one ever said it was going to be easy. We still need 2 outs. We still need 2 outs in the Bronx. McNeil and then Alonso are the 2 outs, though, which is not what I like. We need a little ground ball here. I'll tell you what, though. I'll take a sack fly even. You know what I mean? I'll trade him out for a run in this spot here, man.
Yeah. Cubs, they got a guy on. Oh yeah, guy on second.
That was your boy Happ, the fleet of foot, Ian Happ. The other thing we need to know is that Texas is now up in the top of the 8th, and we need a run there as well. McNeil, how about you bail me out, McNeil, with a little ground ball double play? McNeil. That's what we need out of you. Yo, J-Rod in Seattle homered. The Seattle Mariners have scored 4 runs in the 8th inning and come all the way back. That game was 6-2. It is now tied at 6.
Wow.
Julio Rodriguez.
2 balls, no strikes.
Yep. Oh, I see it. Let's get a little ground ball here. That's what we need. A little ground ball is what I need here. Our boy Swanson is up with 2 outs and Happ on second. A base hit. Lindor steals second. So there goes the double play. Lindor has stolen second.
Oh, so a base hit. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
A ground ball double play is out, and then a base hit could potentially get the Mets to 9, and then we would need something in the bottom of the 9th for the Yankees. So we are sweating right now in the Bronx. And it's a 3-0 count to McNeil. At this point, I put him on and try and get the ground ball out of Alonso.
Yeah.
But
100%.
3 for 4 on the night, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs from the Polar Bear tonight.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Fuck it.
Martinez pours one in. 3-1 count right now.
Why is
Good
there?
news, though. We get a base hit in Chicago. Dansby Swanson. That's a fly ball. That is a foul ball. So we got a full count on McNeil now. But the Cubbies have scored their 7th run of the night. So that is a cash for us here on Live Line. So the Cubs team total is a winner. Rangers have a runner on first and 1 out, so we'll see about that. We got Abreu warming in the pen for the Yankees. This is a big at-bat here, Jeff McNeil. With
I'm walking
second and third, 1 out. Oh, he got the base hit. He doubled.
You fucking walk him,
Nets.
motherfucker.
It's 9-3.
You walk him. You set up the double play with the slowest man in baseball.
9-3 Nets. Ain't that a bitch?
We got that insurance run too.
Yep, we did. So now 9-3 Mets. We need a run. Yankees need a run in the bottom of the 8th, and the bottom of the 9th at least.
The underbelly got us.
Yep. The underbelly gets it both ways. McNeil, they just showed the replay.
Oh, was that Manny that went yard?
Who?
Manny went yard. Like
Manny.
All day.
There you go. There's the total bases catch.
So there's the pregame winner.
And the home run catch. We were talking about take a Padre. We said take a Padre in the home run market, and that works. The Texas Rangers have scored again. So that game is now 4-2.
So I had 1 piece of bad news, but 3 pieces of good news. The Rangers, Manny, and the Cubs. All right. Okay.
Yes. And so the Cubs have now – the Cubs is a cash already. The Rangers now at 2 runs. And by the way, we've still got the middle of their order up. Man on second, 1 out against Hector Neris. So another run for the Rangers would make that a cash. And I will say this. With it 9-3 Mets, we're back where we started. But at least the Yankees have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. And if you remember, David Robertson finished the 8th.
Yeah.
I don't know if they bring him out to start a second inning. You generally would not do that with your closer now with a 6-run lead.
No.
So we got still underbelly potential. Kenny telling us that there's a review, though, unfortunately, for Texas Houston on that second run.
No.
The play at home plate is under review. So we'll see about that. The Machado cash. We like that.
Total bases 1.5. We got 4. Let's go.
So we'll see here. That Padres, by the way, the Padres, now that they scored that run and are still threatening, they're minus 430, Matt. We saw them at plus 110. Now it'll run, they're minus 430 after they take the run off the board for the Rangers.
And it's an out, probably, right? I mean, obviously.
What's that?
So obviously, not only did it resulted in an out too. So right?
Yeah. This has been
all right.
Up and down 10 minutes for live lines.
All right, but we still got Jankowski at second base with 1 out.
And we got the Cubs in already.
So why are you sending him? You could have had second and third with no out, with no outs. I don't get that.
Yeah, and the middle of the order coming up.
Why?
So now it's 2 outs, man on second.
Oh, what a kick to the balls.
That's a big change here. We got 2 outs now. We need a base hit out of Lowe to get us that second run over again. We also just lost the margin in the Bronx. It's 9-3 there. So this has been an up and down piece of the show, to be sure.
All right, well, we hit Machado. We hit the Cubs. Now, Machado wasn't a live play, but that's definitely one we gave. So
we still have Texas. We can get a base knock here. It'll be a 2-out ribeye if we can get that. And we have a bottom of the 9th for the Yankees with Torres, Stanton, and Rizzo. You know, Stanton is liable to hit a meaningless solo home run in the bottom of the 9th. He really is. He really is. So we'll see what happens there. But the Yankees still got to get out of this inning. There's only 1 out. There's only 1 out now with a man on second. That McNeil. I can't
believe that they pitched to Jeff McNeil on that. You put him on.
You got to walk him there, load the bases, get force outs everywhere with Alonso. I'm with you. And
what are you doing?
Brian Smith in the chat saying, "Does anybody know how Aaron Boone is still in baseball?" I think he has pictures on Hal Steinbrenner. You know, he's got compromising pictures of Hank and Hal doing something bad. He's got it. He's got it. That's what it's got to come down to here. But Alonso with a 2-1 count. Oh, the Jeff McNeil double hurts.
And it was so unnecessary.
It really was. And then to get the replay at home in the Houston, Texas game.
Literally, he's the last person I would want to pitch to in that situation.
Right. He's the best contact hitter in the Mets lineup.
Yeah.
This guy has won a batting title.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. And they walk Alonso.
Well, that's fine. Whatever. At this point, let's get a double play and get out of it.
Yeah, we'll get a double play ball, hopefully. Brian Smith continuing the rant against Aaron Boone. How about I said this. I said this on the show last week, Brian. When Boone walks him early in the game, right, with men on, and decides to not do it later in the game, and he hits a 2-run shot that I think was the game-winning homer in that one, right, Brian? So, yes, I'm not happy about that. I could use a double play. I could use a ground ball in the Bronx. Low ball, but it's an 0-2 count on Garcia.
Yeah, we need a hit there in Texas.
Oh. And now we got a hit by pitch in the Bronx, so the bases are loaded.
At this point, as long as we get a double play, I don't give a fuck.
And it's the kid Alvarez who's up next. Although we can get a ground ball here still, motherfucker. But if we get a sac fly, then all of a sudden we need 2 runs.
Yeah,
that's not good. We were so close. Hey, the Padres score again.
The Padres score again.
We saw them, remember, at minus 130. Another thing we were talking about, and by the time we wanted to pull the trigger, it was minus 180. Now it's minus 600. So, hopefully, you listen to us before as we were dawdling on that, because the fathers look good. You're right, Brian. If you're going to intentionally walk him in the 5th, you do it. I think literally what I said last week about that same thing, I likened it to playing blackjack. And when you have 16, you either hit every time or you stay every time. But the consistency is really where it's at. We are delayed in Washington. Rain delay, they're saying. 4-1 in the 7th. Washington still with the 1 run. So That doesn't.
Another boneheaded coaching play was sending the guy, whoever it was for Texas.
Yeah,
it would have been second and third with no out.
Absolutely.
It was
and now they're out of the inning.
Second with one out.
And now they're out of the inning. Houston in the bottom of the eighth will have 3-4-5 up as well. But all we need now Texas to score. They had scored and they took it off the board for us. That's no good. 0-2 count on the kid Alvarez in the Bronx. Maybe we get a ground ball here. Alvarez strikes out. That's good. Oh, that's a crazy play. Oh, wow. The ball hits Alvarez in the hand, but he went around. They appealed down the first base line. They say he went around. He's in pain. They're coming out to check on him. They're taking him out. Well, I mean, they're going back to the dugout anyway. I guess he struck out. Yeah, he did go around. He went around on a pitch that hit him in the hands. That is like the third hit batter in the inning, I think. At least the second. For the Mets in the top of the ninth. So now it brings up Beatty. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Beatty hitting 232 on the season. They need to get out of this and then maybe get a run here in the bottom of the ninth. That's what we need. Listen, both this Yankees game and the Rangers game really turned on a dime in the last few minutes for us in a less than stellar fashion.
I mean, if we get a middle reliever for the Mets, I mean, it's almost a coin toss that we can get a run.
You're absolutely right. I mean, but they have to hold it here. They have to hold it here. A base hit,
they got out of it.
Break it open, and it is the end of the inning. Okay, so that's good. Beatty grounds out. So we got Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Rizzo. We need 1 run.
Okay.
And what should be against going back to the rough underbelly. I don't think they bring out Robertson again. So we'll see what happens. He only threw 7 pitches, but you don't have him come out for another inning. You don't use up your closer because at this point right now, at this point, Robertson is available tomorrow. Okay. If he were to pitch this inning, he would not be available tomorrow. That's the big difference here. So we got to see who they bring in, and hopefully we can get a meaningless run for the Yankees. Oh, man. They giveth and they taketh away, the gods right there. Yeah. We got Tom Sefino in the chat being like, let's get a run. We're all with it. We're all on the same side here. We need a run. The freaking call in Texas, man. Sending him. You're right. Because they had nobody out in the middle of the lineup. You know what I mean? You don't send them there.
Second and third, no outs.
As opposed to down second, 2 out. Yeah.
Right.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We told you guys about the Padres. They've taken the 2-1 lead. We saw an opportunity there when Pittsburgh got ahead early. I don't know if you cashed. I don't know if you guys clicked it. We were hemming and hawing about it. By the way, remember I gave you under 8.5 in Oakland, San Francisco. We're still scoreless there.
Yeah, that was our pregame play.
Yep. That was a pregame play along with you betting the Machado total bases, which has already cashed because Machado went yard. So that's already cashed. We like that. And Toronto has just scored early on Urias. So remember, we were talking about Blue Jays potentially first 5.
Yeah.
Blue Jays money line, So I like Bassett. And so the Blue Jays get out early. Whit Merrifield has come around to score early from the leadoff spot. 3 batters, 1 run already for the Blue Jays.
So we need 1 run. We're in the 9th, and we need a run from the Rangers and the Yanks. To be perfectly honest, I'll take 1.
Yeah, if we get one of them, then the scroll on the bottom line right there is 2 and 1. We get one of them. So we're not going to get greedy. Let's just get some runs. We need to run out of the Yankees. And listen, that was taken from us. That was it's Adam Ottavino who comes in, former Yankee. Adam Ottavino is in for the Mets. Adam Ottavino pitching to a 3.57 ERA so far, has given up 5 home runs.
Yeah. Familiarity, though. So
they know. He's got that crazy slider with a guy like Rizzo coming up in this inning.
Yeah.
You know, he could jerk one down that right field line. So let's see what happens here. Oh, 1 pitch, 1 out for the Yankees. Gleyber Torres on a line drive. First pitch he sees. Fly ball. Not really a line drive. Me Texas here, but they're still in the bottom of the 8th here. Kyle Tucker as the leadoff man got on for them. So that's unfortunate. Giancarlo Stanton up. My man's either going to strike out or go yard here. Watch. Three true outcomes. 3 true outcomes to be sure here. So let's see what could happen here for Giancarlo. Drop the mic.
I think Rizzo's
out of the first inning.
Yeah, Rizzo's our best hope probably this inning.
I would think so, but you never know with Stanton. I'll take a Stanton walk, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Just keep the line moving. Just keep the line moving at this point. But we'll see what happens after. 2-0 count to Stanton. After the Yankees and the Rangers, we'll reset the deck, see if there's anything else we need to look at, or set you guys up for the late games. We talked about the Padres up 2-1. Cardinals D-backs is scoreless in the 3rd. A's Giants scoreless in the 3rd. Remember, I gave you guys the under 8.5 in that one. And Toronto in the top of the 1st. They get out to the early lead. They're up 1-0 on the Dodgers. 2-1 count on Stanton.
2-2.
2-2 count. He just fouled one off. Yeah.
I'm glad I stayed off the Nats.
Well, now you got the rain delay there too, right?
Yeah, but they haven't put anything up in 3 innings.
Yeah. Full count on Stanton. We got a full count on Stanton. Ramon back in the building. What's going on, Ramon? Says the Jays are up 1-0. And Ramon, man, coming quick with the stats last Tuesday. Big shout out to Ramon telling us about the historic nature of last Tuesday in terms of teams scoring double-digit runs, most runs in Major League Baseball on any given day. Full count.
Walked them.
On Giancarlo. They walk. They do.
Okay. Put pressure. Just
here we go. Rizzo. We didn't get Rizzo with a little slider right into his kitchen, and he's going to pull it 315 feet down the right field line. And just so you know, that's all you need, 314.
Can Stanton score on a gapper these days?
No.
You're like, no.
No is the answer to that question, and they're not going to do anything because they're down by 6. So it's not like they're going to pinch run him or anything like that. But let's go, Rizzo. Let's go, Rizzo. Oh, get hit by that pitch. Get hit by that pitch, Rizzo.
He stands on the plate. Literally
that
on
one
the
came right at his knees. That one came right at his knees. So 1-0 to Rizzo there. This is a big at-bat here. Astros still hitting in the bottom of the 8th down there in Texas.
Hey, we want them to keep scoring.
Yeah, so I can get to the underbelly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we want them to bring in a position player. At this point, we want Houston to go up like 13-1 or something like that. Let's go, Rizzo. Keep us live. Keep us live. I got a 1-1 count. Yeah, you're right. Rizzo certainly crowds the plate. Oh, and just swung on what was a ball. It was that slider that Ottavino throws, that real sweeping, and he got in under his hands. So Rizzo's now staring at a 1-2 count. Stanton on first base. Braves just turned a triple play, apparently, Ramon says in the chat. Why are you swinging at that one? He fouls it off. This should be a 3-1 count right now. Instead, it's 1-2 on Anthony Rizzo. It should be a 3-1 count. Rizzo's up there hacking.
2-2.
Okay. You're a little bit ahead of me. You're a little ahead of me, but that's okay. The rare 8-3-5 triple play. Really? So it was a fly ball to center. They get the runner behind him at first and then the runner behind him on second. It must have been a great play, Ramon, by the center fielder. If both the runner on first and second, we're going. So thanks for letting us know about that, Ramon. We still got Rizzo here at 2-2.
Let's work a walk here.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that to be sure. I'll also take a gapper if we can get that. What are you swinging at? He fouls it off, but this is now 3 times in this at-bat that Rizzo has gone out of the zone swinging. He should have walked already. Instead, I got a 2-2 count. He's gone that slider that's come in on him. He's pulled foul twice. And Rizzo flied out. So it's up to LeMahieu. It's up to LeMahieu for the Yanks. Remember, we're holding the Yanks.
That was a tough beat.
Routine fly ball to left field. It's up to LeMahieu.
Oh, fuck.
We had it at plus 5.5. Remember, it was 7-3 going into the 9th. We were staring at down by 4, plus 5.5.
At plus 120 too.
Yeah, and the McNeil double. So let's see what LeMahieu can do here. I'll tell you this. Stanton cruises into second base, defensive indifference. So now a base hit gets us what we need. Now
0-2.
Now a base hit gets us what we need.
Is he going to ever be good anymore?
I don't know. I don't know. This was a batting champion. Can we get a base knock here, DJ? A base knock.
0-2 is not good.
No, 0-2 is not where you want to be, but Stan's right there. Stan's getting the huge lead. Any kind of base hit will get us home.
It's over.
It's over.
Fuck.
Mayhew strikes out swinging. That's a bad beat for us, guys.
That's a tough beat, but okay.
That's a tough one. So the Yankees wind up losing 9-3 is the final. We had them plus 5.5. That does not come home. We were good until the Mets tacked on not 1, but 2 in the top of the 9th. We were okay. I'll tell you what it was. Honestly, it was that Lindor at bat that went like 12 pitches. That really turned the tide in that half inning. That really did. And then McNeil right after that with the double to get us beyond the range. So we don't like that.
So we're sitting at 1-1.
We are, and we
did give the Machado.
We gave the Machado.
Your pick is still looking good. We're in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yes, the under in Oakland, San Fran still looks good. Remember also things that we also mentioned to you. I was on the over in the Baltimore Philly game right out the gate.
Yeah, good one.
Wound up hitting that one. So now our eyes go to Houston. Our eyes go to Houston here, where we need the Texas Rangers to score. It'll be Jung, Heim, and Duran up against Presley coming in because it is a 3-run lead. They bring in their closer.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I wanted them
to get the working margin. Yep. Yeah. All right, so. And I will say this, after the 9th here in Houston, I think we might call it a wrap. We'll see what we got. Viper B47 says fire night. I don't know if he's being sarcastic.
No, we're 1-1. He probably had a good night.
Oh, he had a good night. Well, that's good. I mean, we still gave out. There was stuff we gave out that was fine.
Well, yeah, a lot of people hit that Machado home run.
Home run, because we were talking about it, and I said it was
that'll make for a good night.
That was 3-1 if you hit that. Yep, for sure. But what we need here is the Rangers. Jung flied out, so there's already one out there. We got 2 at bats left. Heim and Duran is what we're looking at there. Or else that live play will be a loser. You mentioned though, Matt, coming into this, you said we were 9-3 on the official plays.
Yeah. Well, on the live plays.
On the live plays that are on the score.
I think on the other plays, the late night plays were probably 3-2 or
something like that.
4-3 or something.
Yeah, something like that. So to be quite honest, even if Texas does not score here, and that would make that a 1-2, that would still have us be 10-5.
Well, right. But in fairness, we gave the Machado and you gave the under. But I mean, official plays was the Machado and your own.
Yes, that's true. We do also, if it's your first time here on Live Lines, we do also give out at least one West Coast pregame play.
Yeah.
Okay. The Machado one has already hit And the one I gave out was under 8.5 in Oakland, San Francisco. And we are scoreless in the bottom of the third in that one. So we're going to sign off before we know about that one. But looks good. And last week, we went 1-1 on those West Coast plays. The Wu strikeout did not cash, but the over that I gave out, I think it was Seattle, Minnesota, wound up hitting. So, listen.
Guy on in Texas.
We got a runner on base here, too.
Okay, let's go.
I'm singled. Let's get a double in the gap here out of Ezekiel Duran. Let's get a runner. Because to be honest, though, one run just gets us a push there, to be quite honest. We need two to make it a winner.
Yeah,
at 2 on the number.
Take a push.
I would take a push as well. Yes, I would take a push as well. At this point, right?
Yeah.
But that's where we are here. Duran and then Garver. And remember, Garver grounded into a double play last time around, so he owes us if we can get it to him.
Yeah, he's not fleet of foot at all.
That is true. That is true. There is he's a catcher and a DH. So, real quick, Kenny wants to know, Matt, thoughts on Arizona St. Louis. St. Louis is up 1-0 in this one. I'm looking at the bullpens, and they're both pretty bad.
Yeah.
If you look at least in the National League, we're talking about 2 of the 4 worst bullpens in the National League. So what I would be wondering about is not necessarily a side, but that live total is at 7.5.
Duran flat out. So we need a double. Let's get a double.
We're up to Mitch Garver now. We need a double in the gap out of Mitch Garver. The 7.5 live total is interesting. Or, to be quite honest, what you could think about doing, who was that in the chat that asked us? Kenny. What you could think about doing, because these are 2 of the 4 worst bullpens in the National League, right? But Kelly and Matt's are pitching all right. What I might do is wait, okay? I might wait until like the 5th inning, see if you can get that total, which is now at 7.5. That game closed with a total of 9. It's down to 7.5. I would wait and see if you can get that if Matt and Kelly continue to pitch well right before we get into the 5th inning. And then if there's no more runs, if it's still a 1-0 game going into the 5th, then I might hammer the over on the idea that they can score off these bullpens. What do you say about that, Matt?
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We were talking about Arizona St. Louis.
I was looking at this here, sweating this Rangers game. No, exactly. I think as we get later in that game and get into those bullpens,
2-2 on guard.
Yeah, there could be a lot of scoring going on there.
Yeah, so maybe a lean to the over, but let's wait and see if we can get a better number on it. That's what it seems like both Matt and I are saying here, Kenny. 2-2 on Garver with 2 outs, and the runner we need to come around is on first base in Heim. Boston is now up 4-1, by the way, on Atlanta.
Yeah, there's the runs there.
Yep.
Finally coming.
Yeah.
3-2.
3-2 on Garver.
Take a walk.
Get a walk, then all of a sudden the base knock gets us what we need.
He doesn't want to walk him, so he's going to get something to hit probably.
Going to get something to hit. Right here is where Garver can potentially go to the gap. We're in the top of the 4th, zip in the Bay Area, so that under
that's
feels decent as well. Full count on Garver. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I think your play will come in. I think that's a good pick.
Thank you. We'll see if we can get it on home.
It's over.
It's over?
Hey, no. The Rangers scored.
Did they? Garver homered. So we go to 3 runs.
Let's go.
Mitch Garver. Listen, so in the Bronx, we pulled defeat out of the jaws of victory. In Houston, we pulled victory out of the jaws of defeat.
The baseball gods repaid us for that.
Mitch M.F. Garver.
And not only did we not push.
Sexy man.
Not only did we not push, that we won it. It's a winner.
That's a win. And here's the other thing I'll say. That 2.5, it also gives you the Texas plus 2.5. So if you went that other route, remember we were isolating the Rangers offense, but that turns it into 2-1. Listen, It's been a roller coaster tonight
And
on Live Line.
2-1 with Manny already in the books, and
That's
you're
right.
good.
And an under 8.5 that's scoreless in the fourth. Okay.
Hey,
so
enough.
that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. And check this out. At one point, we thought the Yankees bet was home free.
Yeah.
And that's the one that loses. The Cubs get us there in no problem because they got 7 runs by the time we hit the 7th. But in this one, the Texas motherfucking Rangers, Mitch Garver, as a last resort with 2 outs in the 9th, goes yaya to center.
Dave, what did I say?
440 feet. And now the over 2 for the Texas Rangers is a hit. Kenny's saying this night's giving him heartburn. Tom Z says, boom, and we got it. This can happen. Remember, it also, we had signed off a couple weeks ago, and then the Cubs actually scored 3 runs off Devin Williams to make that over that we thought was a loss, a win. We hung out with you to the bitter end, and the Texas Rangers get us home free. So we were 9-3 on the live plays on the scroll. Tonight is a 2-1, making us 11-4 so far on live lines through 4 shows, I believe it is now, right? Listen, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yes, Kenny, that was the night Swanson left the village on the bases. You're absolutely right. So we are 7 over 500 on the official live plays that are on the scroll. We also both give you a play for the late night games. Those at the very worst are slightly over 500. With the ones that are today, the Machado one has already cashed, and we are now going into the bottom of the 4th in San Francisco. That game still scoreless as well. So that one looks decent. Matt, I got to tell you, I think this is a good time for us to because, go out on a high note here. Mitch Garver is now a friend of Live Lines.
And we're almost halfway through your late night pick.
Yeah, we're in the bottom of the 4th. We're in the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless there. So 8.5 is what I told you. We're going under. And just for context, the live total there is 4.5 if you want to get cute and try to find the middle. So that's what we got here. Another episode of Live Lines. Thanks to everybody, by the way. Kenny, Tom, Ramon, Viper is out there. Brian, a lot of guys that are coming back. We are now hitting our groove. We'll be back next Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. That channel is the Keggers YouTube channel. We appreciate him. I know he's going to be giving out a ton of stuff. There's a UFC pay-per-view this Saturday.
Good one.
UFC 291.
Yeah.
I think he's already on Alex Pereira in the co-main event. I've already hit that one. So not bad. Not bad. All right. So for those of you who want to know, we're 11-4 on the live lines officially. We'll be back next Tuesday. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And listen, like, retweet, follow, tell everybody. It really helps. I will say, Matt, I think at its peak, we got, it was like 25, 30 people watching us live. So, the slow build here during the
Yeah, we went from 15 to 20 to 25. Yeah, it's grown. Hey, I'll take 5 more a week. Whatever.
Absolutely. And you know what else I'll take? Another profitable show here on Live Lines. 4 in a row. You can't go broke making a profit. Come on back next Tuesday. We'll do it again for my man, Twatty Lottie, new to your town. Oh, actually, how'd you get that name, brother man?
Oh, let's save it. Save it.
We'll save it for next week. In journalism, we call that a tease. Come on back next Tuesday. You'll find out that, and we'll hope to make it profitable one more time. Thanks for joining us again here on Live Lines. We out. We'll see you next Tuesday. Click, hammer, and all that shit. We're making money out here on Live Lines. Peace, guys. Have a great night.